as well as so many other things. But it's just so sad that it still has to be a constant justification. You know what I mean? So.
No, I don't know if I'm hearing anything or if I think Cole's crying. I can't tell the difference.
Parents.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I think would help switch over these women's roles, which is something that bothers me a lot, is that when it comes to female villains, well, for the most part, female villains, is how a majority of them are not evil just because they like being evil. There's always something. Like Maleficent, for example. While I have not seen
yes,
live action
I know
Maleficent, Maleficent has always been my favorite villainess since I was a little girl.
And then they did the origin.
And then they did the origin story, and from what I have gathered, she is evil because she was jilted in love. And that bothers the hell out of me. Or how, like, again, for example, you know, we were talking about last week how in the horror movie genre, there's the subgenre of rape revenge movies, which, yay for the revenge, that's the good part. I just don't like how there's always, when it comes to these women in power movies, something has to click in order for them to do it. Why can't they just be bad? Why can't they just be evil? Why can't they just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm in power here? Why does there always have to be something to do it? Heartbroken, jilted love, she stole my man, my home life was unsatisfying, or I was raped. There's always something.
See, that's why again, I know, again, we spoke a lot about, like I give Game of Thrones credit right now.
Yeah.
The two primary leads, the two leaders of the armies, are both women.
Yes.
And they actually are polar opposites.
Yes.
Whereas Daenerys made that big speech. She's been raped. She's been put in chains. She's been demeaned. She's been everything.
Yeah.
And she believed in herself.
Yeah.
Whereas Cersei was given everything.
Yeah.
And by her own volition, by her own desire, by her own will and passion to push forward, she got to where she was at.
Yeah.
So they've played both sides brilliant. They gave you both sides.
Yeah.
Brilliantly. They gave you the one that's been run through the mud, and they gave you the one that was given everything that rose to power. I mean, granted, yes, Cersei went through that scenario where she got shamed, but prior to that, everything, she was always power driven.
Yeah, she was.
She was always power driven, and she'd have gotten there even without that shaming. It just pissed her off more, to really fucking all right, I'm pulling the trigger now. She could have pulled the trigger a long time ago. That was just like, okay, that's the bullet. I'm done.
I mean, that's the one primary reason I really do like Cersei, as wrong as it is to say if you're a Game of Thrones fan, is because, you know what? Ever since she was that little girl that they showed...
She's always been power-driven.
She's wanted what she's wanted, and despite being a female, she was going to get what she wanted no matter fucking what.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't do it in feminine ways. She did it with smarts. She did it with strength.
Yeah, she did.
And that's the thing. As much as you hate the character... You respect the character because, like, she's kicking ass in this war because of her own smarts.
Yeah. Even down to the very last episode, which, yes, we all know incest is bad. Not saying it is good. But to the point where, she slept with Jaime and then someone came knocking at the door and he's like, dude, they're going to see me. And she's like, I'm the fucking queen. What are they going to do if I sleep with my brother now? Like, damn. You know what? She's fucking right.
Someone's wearing their ovaries on the outside.
Mm-hmm. like, damn.
And again, then you have Dany, who went through all the typical muck and all that stuff and became the character that she is. So that's a great way to play it. You showed it both ways. And you've got two great female characters out of it. And, yeah, I mean, it's just, again, feminizing everything there's no reason for it anymore at this point. There really isn't.
This is actually a very good, very, very good input, actually. It makes a lot of sense. Where feelings of strength are not welcome for women. It feels as though we have to be weak in order to be strong. That's actually very valid. Because, like, okay, if you think about it, people underestimate, like, me. For example, they see me as, well, she's a mother, she's a wife, so she's very obviously caring and whatever, and those are obviously my weaknesses, quote unquote, not realize the type of woman I really am. So, yeah, I have to play into the, yes, I'm a mother, and yet, because to be weak that's actually very valid. Shit.
Well then.
Yeah.
Again, we could be running in circles till we're blue in the face.
Yes.
I mean, again, and what in terms of nerddom and media, what has to change is changing that thought. But so long as the almighty dollar rules it, they'll never close that avenue. Never.
And it's so long as there's one or two assholes on Twitter.
Women are going to constantly have to defend it.
Yeah.
It's a constant fight.
And it's an unfortunate one.
Yeah.
Because, again, these are things that we all wanted. And when I mean we, I don't mean just we as in us three sitting here. I mean we as in nerds. Nerddom.
I mean, when we first incepted this show, we always said we need more female lead stuff.
Yes.
And we're getting it. And we're happy about it. But now it's just like, okay, well, I'm happy we're getting it, but now I'm hating the road the way you're doing it now.
Yeah.
Because when we asked for it, this is not the way we asked for it. Just let them be strong.
Yeah.
Just let them be strong on their own.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. Or just let so-and-so write the book and enjoy reading what so-and-so wrote it.
Like...
Oops, it's a female. Sorry, you enjoyed it.
Again, Harley Quinn, overly saturated now in terms of a character.
Yes.
Internally, what they've done with her as a character is spectacular.
Yeah.
She was Joker's whipping girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he abused her so much despite being blindly in love till she finally went, you know what? Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
I am done with this shit. To the point where she kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm fucking done with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with you berating me. I'm done with you kicking me. I'm done with all this shit. Fuck you. I'm strong on my own. I don't fucking need you.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was like a long build-up.
Very long build-up.
That finally did it. And she snapped and she was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I wish just life would imitate art in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, y'all just need to chill out. Let women and girls enjoy what they enjoy in the way it is, because that's the way it is. You don't have to go, oh, well, she likes this now, so let's make a girly thing about it so she could buy into it more. She was already buying into it. And you know what? You might make that girly thing and she may never touch it because, oh, lo and behold, she fucking hates it.
DC superhero girls.
Oh my god, you utterly hate DC superhero girls.
I do. I hate it with a passion. I hate DC Supergirls with a passion.
Yeah.
In short, it was a cartoon that I believe was on Cartoon Network where they took all the females of the DC universe and put them in a school. They're obviously very young, around the teenage years, where they're just getting to know their powers as well as self-confidence and, sisterhood, things of that nature. The villains and heroes alike are all within the school, and it's just, the overtones of just being a teeny bopper typical show completely overshadows the fact that these are heroes and villainesses trying to come into their power.
Yeah.
And
or it's kind of like how Monster High took that left turn on you.
Yes, Monster High, which used to be a cartoon and doll series that represented being unique. And
embracing being different.
Embracing being weird, embracing being unique.
And different no matter what you...
Yeah, they completely rebooted themselves into more of an anime style, and in doing that anime style...
It's all about fashion.
They've become, pretty, and it's all about fashion and,
It's like it became an extended Fashion Week modeling thing.
Yeah.
Because that's all they do now is it's another runway show somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not what they were about.
Yeah. In the old Monster High days, there was, yes, they all wore cute clothes, but those cute clothes were all designed by one character who was the fashionista, because each character also had their own personalities. Gulia was the nerd. Frankie, she was the new girl.
And Awkward.
And Awkward, yes. Spectra Vondergeist, she was the writer and the journalist. Like, they all had individual personalities and traits, and now it's become...
the fashion.
Fashion and glamour, and there's no more being unique and being different and embracing who you are.
And the funny thing is, it's not even them created. They always meet some sort of designer, and then they do the runway walk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's what we've reduced it down to, them being runway models now?
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous. Because I remember when they first came out, we were like, this is like really cool. I love the concept about being... embracing being different, embracing you're weird. Who cares if anybody thinks you're weird?
Yeah.
Be you.
Yeah. And now it's 2 steps forward, 2 steps back.
And that seems what they do all the time. They remodel it. They gotta remodel it.
Mm-hmm.
They always gotta remodel it. And it's like, why? Why remodel it? It was doing well on its own. The message was clear, the message was there, and then you contradicted yourself.
In doing that reboot, actually, a lot of Monster High fans, young and old,
just
have completely dropped it. Because they feel the message is gone.
Yeah.
The message they were trying to teach girls is just completely and utterly gone.
Because it went back to, like, well, now we're going to
Barbie. It went back to Barbie.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
And again, we could run on this forever.
We really can.
And it's just a vicious cycle and a vicious circle. With no end in sight,
pretty much. I guess to wrap this up, from the chick point of view, just be who you are, like what you fucking like, don't fucking give a shit what anybody else has to say, and you don't have to justify yourself to anybody. That's all I have to say when it comes to all of this.
To quote my father.
Oh, God.
Fuck him.
One of the best things I think your dad's ever said.
Fuck him.
Closing words.
I don't have much to say about this. You said I said it all.
Say something. Raven said you were too quiet.
Yeah.
That's who I am. I'm a quiet guy.
Just visiting.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, again, thank you for this super serious episode of Nerd Herders.
Hopefully you still enjoyed it. I know it wasn't as comedic as
And the more you know, shooting Rainbow Star comes across the screen.
Yes.
It's the NBC.
I know what it is.
There was a lack of dick jokes in here. We should probably have a vagina joke. We only had one vagina joke this entire Nerd Herder season.
I got nothing.
Exactly, you don't! Vagina joke. But
That was terrible.
that was terrible. Mom joke.
Anyway.
Alright, we're just going to wrap it up on that. Alright. Join us every Friday night on Facebook Live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and Spreaker.com/filling_the_void. You can check this episode out via the archive episode on Spreaker.com, as well as iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, YouTune or Uplay, and iHeartRadio. If you have any kind of feedback, good ones, regarding this episode, you can come find us at Nerd Herders Radio on Facebook, which is facebook.com/nerdherdersradio. Links to every single news piece that we've discussed in the first hour of this episode are also on that. Yes. You can follow us individually on facebook.com/foxyfoxy.com/Damien Dragon Entertainment and Nightwing CT. You can follow us, too, on Instagram at NightwingCT and at VivaFoxyFoxy. You can follow us on Twitter at STBDamienDragon and at VivaFoxyFoxy. You can check them both out on YouTube at youtube.com/NightwingCT and youtube.com/DVargas802.
And also, I'm gonna cheap plug it anyway, because he was gracious enough to watch us. Check out the writings of Mr. Raven Gregory, one of the most fantastic and writers out there today. One of your major influences.
Yes. For those of you who do not know Raven Gregory, he was a writer and editor-in-chief for Zenoscope magazine. He has since developed his own comic called Widow's Web, which you can find on his Facebook page. He's excellent.
And if you want to check out
I'm
more
humbled, actually, that he tuned in.
Yeah, and on Amazon Raven Gregory, and look at all the other cool stuff that he's written.
God, yes. Read The Gift and Fly. Wonderland, and oh god, what was the other one that I loved? The Waking. Waking. So good.